Welcome back to Wealth Habits Project. This gonna ah! Alright, welcome back to my channel. This is Wealth Habits Project. Today we're gonna talk about how investing isn't for the rich or only for the rich. You don't need to be smart, have money. You need to have money, but you don't need to be the smartest person or the wealthiest person to start investing and make money out of the stock market, because so many people have started from nothing and grown their portfolios into millions of dollars. And today, I'm gonna show you how. For decades, big institutions have made it seem like money is the only thing they can make, or they're the only ones who understand money. But over the time, we know that index funds have done way better than a lot of those hedge funds at Wall Street. So you can make more money or have better returns than a lot of the rich people. It's crazy right now. You need to take opportunity or take this opportunity right now. You'll be rich by the time you turn 40, 50 if you just stick to the principles I'm going to talk to you about today. We've seen this discussion over time that a lot of people think there's a growing gap between the rich and the poor. It's not money, trust me. It's the lack of education that a lot of poor people have, and their knowledge of people around them that just keep them poor. They've never been exposed to these tools before. So brokerage accounts, investing, what's the S&P 500? I'm sure a lot of people don't even know what any of those things are and how crazy amount of money they can make if they just understand, if they just get the proper education, the financial education that's needed for them to grow in this country financially. You don't need to be the rich, you just need to be smart, you know where to put your money, and over the years, let compound interest do the magic. All you need is 6 months or less. Start researching right now. Find the best companies, find the best ETFs, the mutual funds that you want to invest in. Set up a portfolio. Experiment for 6 months. I recommend that actually because I've been doing it. I opened a brokerage account about 4 months ago. I've been investing, selling about every single month. I know a lot of people don't recommend that, but I'm just getting a grasp of it, or how this money or what assets do I want to own for the long term. So I've invested in VOO. First of all, that's the first thing I invested in, and that's the thing I've invested in the most. I have a few $1,000s in it, and I haven't sold it since. But I've bought some individual companies like SoFi, Lucid, United Healthcare. What else do I have? Invested in Procter & Gamble. That's the company that holds all the major brands that we own, that we use in our everyday life. So like Tide, Gillette, or I'm pretty sure I have a lot of stuff in the kitchen from Procter & Gamble right now. So that's why I think it's a great company to invest. And it's been going downhill right now. It's been going down for like about 5 years. But as a lot of the good investors know, you don't sell when it goes down, you need to buy when it goes down. Every single major stock. Procter & Gamble is worth like $300 billion and it's going down. And I know this is his hopes and dreams right now, but this is how it mostly works. I'm not gonna get into the specifics of this because I don't know myself right now. I'm just a guy who's experimenting with these, and I'm gonna set a basis of all the stocks and ETFs that I want to buy and then hold for the long term. Right now, I'm experimenting a lot. I also have Chevron. That also has been going down, and with the recent explosion that happened at the refinery, their stock didn't take as much damage as I hoped it would. Hoped because I knew when it goes down, they're gonna do something to fix it. Then it'll go up. But then I did more research. I found out with these type of companies, with oil refineries, the risk is already implemented into the stock price. So if anything happens to their refineries, anything happens to their factories, a gas explosion or their gas station explodes, whatever, everything is already accounted for in the stock price. I did not know that. I just found that recently. And this is the type of research that you need to do to start investing smartly. some of the ETFs that I have. I only have 3 right now: the Schwab US Dividend Equity ETF, and the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF. That's the VOO, and then the Vanguard Total International Stock Market. So I'm not only betting on the stock market in America, but internationally, because there is a lot of movement, there's a lot of momentum that's happening outside of America that we need to take advantage of, and not only depend on American ones. I'm not saying that you should go away from America, because American stock market is the biggest by far in the world, but it might not be, because that's the only thing with investing. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. With the past trends, we can predict that the market will go down, but it will come back stronger than it ever was. But it's not definitely guaranteed, because no one's seen the future. So you need to be prepared for it, and you need to diversify in a fact that you're not just investing in your whole entire portfolio into the American stock market. You need some outside assets too. And with these great ETFs that Vanguard has, that Schwab has, that iShares have, and a lot of other ETF companies that issues ETFs, they have a lot of stocks that you can pick from outside the US, and you need to take advantage of this opportunity, because there's not been this many ETFs that you can just buy with the lowest cost possible ever before. So this era that we live in, a lot of people think that the stock market's going down, the entire world economy is about to crash or whatever. In a way, I'm hoping it does, because I know whatever happens with the trends that we have seen in the past, every time there's a crash, we come back stronger than ever before. But there's a gamble to that, because we don't know that for sure. And the biggest risk takers that buy stocks that are down, they're technically playing it smart, but even they should know that it's a gamble. It's not going to be guaranteed. All right, let's get into the topic of why a lot of people think that you need to be rich, or you need to be insanely smart to start investing in the stock market. It's mainly because of the media. They just make it so that every time they talk about the stock market, it's bad, it's going down, there's nothing good about the stock market, it's always just crashing. But that's all they show you, because they get the most viewership when they show negative news. They're never going to say, oh, the stock market's up 5%, 10% today. But even if it goes down 5 or 10%, if it goes 5 or 10% on the other side, they're going to make it headlines and just scare the frick out of people. So they just fear investing in the market. But you don't need to be that person, and you should not be that person. You need to take opportunity of this wealth builder. Because even if you don't invest, if you think you're taking a safe by saving money, inflation is going to beat you. Your money's not going to have the same buying power it has right now in 10, 20 years into the future. But I know if I just invest in the market, in the S&P 500, that's given 7%, I think roughly 7% adjusting for inflation, I know that my money's going to be more powerful, and I have more money in the future and more buying power. But let's get to the topic of how regular people become rich. They don't become rich because they started rich, because they were born into wealth. They became rich because they started early. Because I've said this before in my first on-camera video, that time in the market beats the amount invested into the market. That's a quote. You need to tattoo that on your chest, because the earlier you start, the better off you will be. I just started investing at 19. I think I should have started before, which I did technically, because I had some money saved up from my parents, like $500. I opened an investing account on Webull, put money into individual stocks that I don't even know anything about. I just thought whatever's trending today, whatever's the top stock, I just picked it. Oh, it's $3 or $2. Don't buy those stocks, by the way, because they're penny stocks, and you should stay as far away from those as possible. I put $500 into it. 10 days later, I was down to $200. I never opened that account ever again. And just a few months ago, I just dared to open it again, and it was up on $30. Yep, that's what happens when you don't research. So learn from me and don't make that mistake. All right, and you need to stop thinking that investing is about status. Oh, that I invest. Oh, I'm a great person. I'm an elitist. I'm rich now. It's all about strategy, and that's what you need to become rich. A strategy that can pay for your future and your retirement. So when you start early, you have the opportunity to make mistakes, because I've made mistakes when I was 13, 14, lost all that money, but I learned from it that individual stocks don't perform as well as ETFs, mutual funds, or that if you just pick stocks that are not carefully selected and that don't have a good financial history of performing well under stress or under economic depression. You need companies that have survived through depression. And if you just make 40K a month, or sorry, 40K a year, if you just invest 5% of that every single month, that can change your future for the better. Trust me, you can retire comfortably, easily when you turn 60. You will not have to work ever again. If you just keep your expenses low, keep the money in the market and just take out the dividends, or if you just take a certain portion out but just leave the money in the market and just spend all that money or just pay your expenses with that money for a year and just let that money sit on the market when you retire. With that, you don't need to put more money into the market. You can leave it in there, let it grow, take a certain portion out every single year, spend it, and just live comfortably. That's all I'm trying to say. Lastly, if you still feel investing is off limits to you or you can't do it, all I'm trying to say to you, start with one app, one ETF, particularly of S&P 500 one, and just rest and just stay there. And just do these 3 things. Open up an investing account, choose an ETF, that's a good one, and just hold it for the rest of your life. Just take a certain portion out of your salary and invest it. That's all. Thank you. So here's how I'm gonna do it. The topic, outline, yap about it. You can see, look back, and this should work great. Let's go. Alright, we're starting at 120.